Okay, first we're preparing crawfish rice. So we need cream of celery. Is my light too bright for you? Cream of celery, French onion, and rotel, generic version, and just a little season. I'm putting all the ingredients in the pan. Then after I put it in, I would have to mix it up and preheat the oven to 350. As soon as I can get this cream of celery out of here, it's kind of thick. Then you mix it all up with the rice and the rotel and the French onion. After it's all mixed up, preheat the oven. And you pop it in the oven. And you let it cook until the rice starts drying out. Once it dries out, you add chicken broth, and then your crawfish tails, and then your rice. So as the rice is cooking, I have to wait almost an hour and a half for the rice to cook. After the rice cooks, I'm going to put the crawfish tails in, and then the rice will be finished, and then you'll get to see the finished product. Um, Crawfish rice is just like a simple party planning rice thingy, you know. You don't have to it's not like a specific meal. It's just like something that you cook for parties. So in an hour you'll get to see what the finished product looks like. While the rice is cooking, I'm just thawing out the crawfish tails because they were still frozen. So I have to thaw out the crawfish tails. And now I'm about to stir the rice just a little bit to make sure that it's not dry. The best way to stir the rice is to use a open-ended spoon, no closed, so the rice can get through, so you can know how much is drying out and how much isn't. So now I'm about to pull the stove out. Oops. I'm about to pull the stove out to stir the rice while it cooks. As it cooks, the rice will get softer. That way you can put your crawfish tails in and your shrimp or whatever you prefer. But today I'm just going to use crawfish tails. And if it gets too dried out, put a little chicken broth in it to make sure the rice gets soft. And while you're cooking it, you have to make sure just to taste a little bit with a clean spoon. Take a little bit, blow it off, and taste. And if it's not getting soft, you let it cook for a little while longer before you put your crawfish shells in. You want to make sure not to put the crawfish shells in too early because the crawfish shells will dry out and get small. And if they dry out and get small, it's really not going to taste like crawfish rice. It's going to taste like the dried up shrimp that they sell in Rouse's or Walmart. So you let the rice cook for maybe another 45 minutes before you put your crawfish shells in, and then after that you can taste the rice all together and see if it's softening up. If it's softening up, that means it's just going to cook for another 45 minutes, and after it's done, you can serve it to your audience. Now I'm about to add a little butter to the rice just to give it a little flavor. Not too much because you don't want too many calories. Mix it up evenly. Make sure the butter gets all the way around the pan to all the rice. Keep mixing, keep mixing. The rice is starting to get a little soft. So now you taste it, make sure it's soft enough. which it is. Now you can add your crawfish shell. Best kind of crawfish shells to use is the Boudreaux Wild Catch. Take a knife. Make sure you don't slit yourself. Cut the top open. And the juice from the crawfish tails give the rice the color. So you want to make sure not to drain that out. And you finish around the bag a little bit to make sure that it's going through. Then you evenly distribute the crawfish tails. They're not seasoned crawfish tails, so you're going to have to add a little seasoning to the rice. And I'm using 2 packs. To make sure it's a lot of crawfish. Moving my fingers through it to make sure it's broken up evenly. Then add it to the rice. A lot of crawfish shells. I like a lot of crawfish shells in my rice. Gives it a little New Orleans feel. And you mix it in evenly to make sure the crawfish shells goes all the way around the rice. To make sure it has going in every bite spoon that you pick up. Mix and mix, mix and mix. If you're the type of person that like a little spice, you can add crawfish ball, but if you're not, just a little seasoning will do. So I'm gonna add a little cayenne pepper just to give it a little spice, just a little pinch, not too much, and a little seasoning. And you mix and mix. Pan is very hot, so make sure you have a pie holder. And you taste a little bit just to make sure your flavor is right. You don't want to put it back in the oven and it's not flavored right. So I'm gonna taste a little bit. Blow it first because it's pretty hot. It's flavor fine. Take your towels or your pie holders. Open the oven back. And put your pan back in the oven. So let it finish cooking. To make sure the crawfish tails are cooking. And then you just wait until it's finished. And then you can serve. And if your family is like my family, we love crawfish rice. Okay, now this is the finished product. You know, you see the smoke and stuff. So I'm about to put a little in my bowl and taste it. Smells great. Now that's crawfish rice. So okay, just to recap. First you have to put your rice in, and then your French onion, your chicken broth, your cream of celery, and your rotel. You can either get the rotel that's in the can that says rotel, or you can get the generic version. It all works the same. It's just to moisturize just a little bit. You let it cook for an hour to make sure the rice is soft enough to eat. Then after it's soft enough to eat, you put in your crawfish tails. You can put in shrimp or crawfish tails and shrimp or crawfish tails, shrimp and sausage. But I just use crawfish tails today. And you have to put a little season just to give it some flavor and a little butter to moisten it up just a little bit. After it's finished, it's ready to eat.